I couldn't find the unmute button. Friends, guys, Tom is not here momentarily, and I will explain why in a second, but I just gotta freak out for a hot second. Of course, a freaking motorcycle drives by the second we start. Sweet Jesus, this is... sweet love, Los Angeles. The second you try to do anything on your computer, Zoom, filming an audition, going live on YouTube, it just, Oh, we got a new subscriber! Yay, that's why our light changed. Let's go! Yes, anyway, apologies. But what's up? I just gotta geek out for a second and say hello, everybody, because I have dipped off the channel for a hot second. A little unintentional hiatus. It is what it is, but low-key have just been waiting. We've been in the calm before the storm here with Ahsoka, so low-key when today's trailer dropped, I was like, let's freaking go. I gotta get back on the channel, and we gotta do a DORK discourse, because I have neither filmed a video or gone live and hung out with you guys in a long, hot freaking minute. So what is up? How's everyone's summer been? It's literally been like 3 weeks since I've hung out with you guys. Charlie, DJ Spillman, Sal, Alaric, Sabersmith, T-Money, Jerry, Sean, Colin, Joshua, Zach, member for 9 months, let's go! I missed you too, my friend. I missed you too. Rockero, Jerez, A. Timothy Brock, Sabersmith, Joshua from San Diego, let's go! Gang is all here, everyone's hype, Patrick Kelly! Let's go, friends! Stanley's, Andrew, Jerry, LOL Caver in the pre-game chat. Making sure I account for everybody. Simply Everything, Dan the Man, Joseph, Alice the Queen was our first comment, or first chat. Let's go. Let's go! James, Bully McGuire, everyone's pouring in. Kevin Lance, we got so much to talk about, guys! I feel so excited! Maybe I just feel like alive right now because Star Wars has been dormant and now it's alive and well. And I'm so freaking excited. I mean, So, Tom is not yet here because guess freaking what, folks? He's not actually seen the trailer yet. So today's Dork Discourse is going to be a special one because he's going to live react to it. And you guys never get Tom's live reaction to anything. I always ask him, like, do you want to film a reaction with me? Like, Mandalorian finale, Kenobi finale, like, big things. I'm like, do you want to film your reaction with me? And he's always like, no, no, no. And I've been trying to get him to do a reaction for freaking ever. And today is going to be the day, and you're going to all witness it live. So of course, if you saw, I've seen the trailer. That's what we're talking about today, in case the title was unclear. We're talking about the freaking Ahsoka trailer. So thank you all so much for being here. I love you guys. I missed you guys. I'm so freaking excited. Let's cover some of these member chats before we bring Tom in. T-Money! 1 month till graduation. Let's freaking go. You're so close. 7 months of straight classes, but if you want to check out my latest engineering project, no way. Check out at Hydro Hero Robotics on IG. I actually low-key would love to because I think robotics is the coolest freaking thing ever. That's so flipping cool. T-Money, you're in the home stretch. 21 months for Charlie. No freaking way. That's insane. No apologies for anything, my friend. Congratulations on you and Tom wedding plans. Love you both. Also, Ahsoka, we love you, Charlie. And also, happy huge belated birthday to Charlie, who also got to go and meet the Chosen One himself, Hayden Christensen. So freaking amazing. We got so much catching up to do, folks. Oh my god. I can't even keep up. All right. I'm gonna catch my breath. Tom reaction hype. Yes! Oh my god, I'm glad you guys are super excited. Oh my goodness. Greetings from Turkey. Omer, what's up? Chris Bolster. I love watching reactions, but I'm nowhere near animated enough for it to be worth filming. You definitely get used to it. I don't feel like my reactions are... my reactions when I'm not watching something aren't as crazy as they are like when I'm filming. Sheev the Wise, who's been going live for like all day. I feel like every time I've logged into YouTube, you've been covering this trailer. It's so good. The show's gonna be lit. I know. I'm so excited. Also, everyone should tune in because Sheev has been doing... Wait, yes, I think. I don't know. I don't know. Sheev is always doing cool streams and whatnot, I think. So, I could be wrong. I'm just so... Check Sheev out anyway. Just check him out. Also, seeing Hayden next month from T-Money. No freaking way! Daddy Josh, what's up? Julian Ortiz, member for 17 months. Let's freaking go. Hi, Kat. How are you? Question, do you still have a P.O. box? I do. It is always listed in our descriptions of our videos. Never have to feel obligated to send anything, but it's just there if you need it. But thank you, Julian, for membership for 17 months. Let's freaking go. Daddy, let's go. Emperor Palpatine. Oh my god, Dan the man. We got everybody here. It's a party. Sal. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna read these last few. We're gonna read our last few member chats, and then Tom's gonna come in and we're gonna effing do this. Jerry, member for 13 months. Let's go. I saw your reaction video to the Ahsoka trailer. Did you do something to your hair? It looked different and it looked really good. Thank you. I actually did get my hair highlighted for the first time ever in my life, and I got these little like bang things going on when I last got it cut, so it's had some new life to it, and I'm glad you enjoy it, Jerry. I'm loving it. At first I was scared because I have what they call like virgin hair for like girls or anyone really who never dyes or touches their hair. So when I first got those highlights, I was like, oh frick, was this a mistake? But I actually really love it. So thank you. I'm glad that you like it too. Thanks for noticing. And from Joshua, hey Kat, this can't stay long. I love the trailer and I'm so excited for Ahsoka. I've missed you and happy belated birthday. And hopefully I will be able to see you on Sunday. Yes, we have a mega overdue members only stream coming up on Sunday, y'all. Trying to go for like marathon. I'm talking 6-hour long stream for our members. So if that's something that interests you, I usually never freaking plug the memberships or the join button, but if that's something that interests you, that's going down this weekend. So I'm so excited to see you there, Joshua. Sebastian Jones, Kevin Lance, let's go. I'm just shouting out everybody who's here, but I think it's time. I think we can bring him in. I think Grand Moff Tom, are you out there? I didn't hear a response for a brief second, so I panicked. But yes, he's coming in. We're ready whenever you are. Everyone's actually super stoked that you're going to be reacting. What in the world? What?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dork Discourse is back, baby.
He was not wearing this 10 minutes ago.
Dork Discourse is back, baby, and it's back and better than ever. This might be the biggest, most important Dork Discourse episode we've ever had.
Yeah, because you're filming your
We've
first
never
ever
done.
reaction.
Yes, I have not reacted to anything. Ever.
Yes, I've been telling them. I keep trying to get you to participate in when these major episodes or things drop, and you're always like, no. So
We don't need to talk about that. But yes, it is the first reaction ever. But I don't think we've ever gone live this immediate after
a trailer or something. Yeah,
something
no.
like this has dropped
Good point.
forever. Usually we do it beforehand, not immediate kind of aftermath. So this is a big day. And I'm prepared in case this turns into the greatest Dork discourse debate that this podcast has ever seen.
What would we be debating about?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But I'm just
well,
prepared. I'm prepared just in case.
Oh god.
I have no idea what's about to happen. I have zero clue.
No, you do not.
Haven't read the chat yet. Haven't done anything. Not done. I'm coming in complete cold turkey
Well, should we just
at that moment.
get right to it? I don't want to wait.
Yeah.
I need to
Let's do it.
I need to rewatch. We're gonna have a quick minute of streamception here, as I call it, while we. It's this one, right? This is the. Whoa! Ignore that. There's you guys. Here we go. All right. I guess we're not really gonna have confirmation. So you guys are gonna be hearing this.
Yeah.
Via
They'll hear.
our microphone. Yes. So I mean, worst case scenario, you guys don't hear anything. We're not gonna have the chat.
You're not muted, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we better not be.
Okay. All right.
I think I would have known by
Put
now.
YouTube at full volume.
Put YouTube at full volume. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, we're gonna just have you guys listening through our microphone. Tom's
Is it
ready.
HD? Get it HD.
No,
720?
no.
No, we're not getting 720. We're going.
Oh.
Oh.
You need
yeah,
YouTube
okay.
Red to use
Get
premium.
So we'll just do regular.
Premium pixel.
Regular 1080. Your brightness all the way up here? Is your brightness all the way up? No, it's not.
There we go. Okay. All right.
What is that? Oh, it's a ship. Okay.
Here we go. Tom's live reaction, everybody.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire. What happens when you find Thrawn?
Such as you never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine. You never made things easy for me. Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Oh.
You looked away at the best part. You looked away at the best part.
Very, very, very interesting.
Yeah. So now we can finally check in on the chat. All right. Could you all hear that? Okay. I mean, let's go. Haven't seen it either. Oh, so Andrew was watching with us for the first time too. That's so freaking cool.
Let's go.
Yes, it's been a while, Jerry, since Tom has whipped out the suit jacket. For those who know, the origins of Dork Discourse started with this suit jacket. So Tom's bringing it back to the OG fit. 1.5 years already from Nick Gundy. Woo!
Boy.
Thank you so much for being here, my friend. We love you. Wait, what the heck, Master?
Interesting.
Could everyone hear all right? Let's get some confirmation. Yes. Yep. Okay, sweet. Nathan, what's up? Good to see you. Mike Hill member for 12 months. I haven't been hyped more for a Star Wars series. And then Ahsoka. Yes, let's freaking talk about it. Let's talk about it. So this was Tom's first reaction. If you guys are just joining, he just got back from work. He hasn't watched it all day. This was his live first ever reaction from Tom on the channel. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
I almost feel like we need to rewatch it again.
Are you serious?
And I gotta take notes.
Are you serious? Okay. Okay.
No, we don't actually have to watch it. I took notes with my mind.
We can later if you want.
I mean, first key highlights. 2 Anakin name drops.
Yes.
Twice.
What the F?
2 of them. Ray Stevenson knows them. 2 Anakin name drops. We also get confirmation that Ray and the blonde chick and
Or no Jedi?
Yes, no Jedi, but then they and the lady from season 2, who I'm forgetting her name.
Morgan Els.
Yes.
Yeah,
Morgan.
Elswith?
Morgan.
Elsbeth?
Yeah. Not a as Morgan from Rebels, but Morgan Elsbeth.
Not as Morgan.
Yeah. They're looking for Thrawn at some point in this series too. So it clearly starts out where Thrawn is not in the picture yet. It also seems like there's some history between Ahsoka and Sabine that we don't necessarily know about.
Well, I think they allude to it. Ahsoka was training Sabine.
Yeah.
And pieced out for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
What
That's a new
could-
twist.
What could that
That's a
reason
new
be?
twist. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, the Anakin name dropped twice. We got a little bit of insight into what Thrawn is up to. I'm literally watching the trailer again because it's replaying now in this clip, which that's like way behind. Why is that playing now?
That's always like that. It's always lagged
It's
on
like
our
that
end.
behind? That's incredibly behind.
That's not how behind it is for the audience, I don't think.
Did the light change?
It did change.
Oh, it did? Oh, light's working. Sweet.
Thanks, Project CB, for the subscription.
Yeah.
If you're here.
I had another highlight, but I didn't write it down, so I forget. What was the other one? It was Anakin name dropped twice. Oh, 2 people got straight up impaled with the saber. Ray Stevenson, right out of the gate, his monologue, and then it shows him shish kebabbing someone straight on the ship. So we're gonna get a nice juicy hallway scene with the 2 of them. Which we didn't necessarily know that they were together. Well, actually, no. The original teaser did show them both in similar hallway.
Balin and Blonde Girl.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we see him shish kebab someone, then Ahsoka shish kebabs someone, doesn't she? Someone else shish kebabs someone.
Yeah.
We saw 2 shish kebabs and 2 Anakin name drops. So, I mean, they're clearly setting this up. Ahsoka even says, I'm not here to talk about my past, blah, 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 which means we're totally talking about her past. Totally 100% talking about her past. They set up the Sabine, Ahsoka history that we don't necessarily know between Rebels and this. Set up her history with Anakin. Clearly that's important to the people that know her. I mean, Hera's talking about Master and Ahsoka saying, oh, he didn't complete the training. So what does that imply? There's going to be some type of training completion. There's going to be some tying of the circle, tying of the knots. Dave, you're a beast.
Dave, thank you
Beast.
so much. I mentioned this earlier. Yes, I saw your comment. Didn't get a chance to respond. Oh, wait, no, I think I did. I think I said, like, we'll see. That Inquisitor is Barriss Offee. Mark my words. Also, congrats to you both. Thank you. And Star Wars Theory name dropped you. Interesting.
Mr. Theory.
Interesting. Was it during his stream? I guess I'll have to go back and check it out.
Stream from today. Was he streaming?
He streamed live. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
His reaction.
Yeah.
Everybody's reactions are coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a big, big deal.
Yeah.
But thank you again. Thank you, Dave. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Her name is Shin. Yes, I keep calling her Blonde Girl. Shin. Shin and Balin are their proper names. Ooh, from Chris, Sabine either didn't agree with some of the Jedi code or Ahsoka saw some similarities with her and Anakin's relationship. Oh, shiz.
Great point, Chris. Fantastic point.
But what did you think? Was there anything in there you think we possibly could debate about? Because I think everyone's unanimously, I think the general reception to this trailer is overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
A lot of people who I think had trepidations and were worried about the show saw this and have been like, frick yes.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Because I feel like a lot of us were starting to get in this weird, they drew it out so much. They saved this trailer for so, I mean, it feels like it's late in the game, but this is typically actually when they drop their trailers. It's usually like a month or so out, last minute, right up to the tail end of the, you know, the hype right before the show comes out. But I feel like in the interim, the period especially waiting for this trailer, because we've been starved of Star Wars for a hot minute since Mando finale and whatnot, like, I think the uncertainty and the angst and the kind of nerves were starting to build up about the show, and I certainly was starting to have like pre-series panic, like, oh shit, is this gonna be good?
Yeah.
Like, because where else is your mind supposed to go?
Nice curse.
Oh, flip! I cursed. Shiz, that's how you know gloves are off. Gloves are off, everybody. It's a special day, okay?
Yeah.
If y'all are here, you witnessed history. I rarely accidentally curse in stream. But that's how you know I mean business. But, I mean, I personally was at that point, because when it takes forever for the trailer to come out, you're like, all your mind can do is overthink and wonder and panic. So I think we were all in that weird pre-trailer phase, like, how is this going to look? And I think this really like put a lot of people's minds at ease because seemingly, unless I feel free disagree, I haven't been able to look over the comments too much, but please do sound off and feel free, of course, if you didn't like the trailer or if you are nervous about the show or have any trepidations at all. You know, I think my biggest one being, and I mentioned this in my reaction, I think the biggest takeaway for me, and I don't want to sound like one of those fans who's only in it for like the big names, the big cameos, like Anakin, blah! Like there's so much more to this show seemingly than just whatever function Anakin Skywalker is going to serve in the story beyond just the history with Ahsoka and her baggage and whatnot. But my biggest qualm is, did they name drop Anakin not just once but twice? Mainly for the general public who has no idea who the flip any of these other characters are except for Anakin Skywalker.
Probably. They probably want to make that connection clear that Ahsoka is... that Anakin was Ahsoka's master. That's clear. That's intriguing. That's from the general audience who has no idea who Ahsoka even is. They watch this trailer and they're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of lightsabers. There's a lot of action. This looks like very much like Star Wars. But if they make it clear that this person's tied to Anakin, aka Darth Vader, the chosen one, then that's gonna rope people in. That's gonna rope the casuals in. I mean, everyone here is a sweat lord, so we're all sweating it out together, and we're gonna watch it regardless. But
I want to put that on pause.
What?
I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Some of you who were in on one of our streams, our latest Dork Discourse forever ago, we have this new light now, and it's a new member perk. So for members, if you type exclamation point and any color, so like it's exclamation point first, right? Mm-hmm. So like exclamation red, no space, and no capitals, I don't think are necessary. You can change the color of the light, and it has, there we go, Daddy Josh is on it, green. Oh yes, it has like an 8-second grace period, so, you know, whoever gets their color in first, we'll see if it works. Oh no.
it should.
Come on. It should work.
Yeah, well, it's connected.
It worked when we got the subscriber earlier.
Let's see.
Come on, light, don't let us down now. You have one job, baby. You have one job. There it goes.
Yeah, it's just lagged.
It just took a long time.
Yeah, so you can't spam it. There is a like a buffer in there. So it'll accept the command and then ignore the next 10 seconds worth of commands. So you do have to space it out so that it's not just spam in the chat. But yes, there are 8 different colors that you can change it to. So.
Yes. But anyway, we're sorry, that was just a total sidebar. But just I totally forgot to mention it in the beginning before we brought Tom out. So yes, that is a member's perk. Free play of the game. It is not an Alexa, despite how it might look. But yes, sorry. So your point, that is a good point. Yeah, the general audience probably needs to know, oh, this is obviously connected to Anakin Skywalker. Because this show, I think, is a standout. Perhaps the most. It's interesting. Well, Mando I think, yes. Because Mando started out totally new characters until it started to delve into Clone Wars territory, but it still maintained a safe enough distance where that you could watch it without having watched Clone Wars and be okay. Andor, we came in, obviously, Cassian Andor was the only known character other than people like Mon Mothma and just a few stragglers, but pretty much whole new ensemble. So everyone was in the same boat, sweaty, casual fans, whoever you were, in terms of the cast and characters. It was all new to everyone. Kenobi, obviously, legacy characters. Book of Boba Fett, a legacy character with other familiar characters that people then knew via Mando, XYZ. So this is gonna be, unless I'm forgetting one, which is possible at this point because there's already a handful now, this is the first live-action Star Wars show that is mainly dependent on the side series Clone Wars and Rebels especially. So I am definitely curious about how it appeals to the general audience who haven't seen those shows. And so that was my initial thought, like, is this Anakin Skywalker name drop indicative that he will actually serve a role in this show beyond just his name being dropped? I mean, I know there's the rumors swirling about a potential cameo from Hayden, and I think, you know, for Ahsoka's storyline, that closure is one thing that is still missing for her. So I'm that's my biggest trepidation. Like, ooh, this is bait, or is it
bait? Like he's not even gonna show up?
Yeah.
No,
Could it be?
100% showing up. That's the biggest lock of the century. They're crazy. Star Wars they love promoting Hayden's celebration activities, right? He's been the most popular person at Celebration for the last what, 2 or 3 celebrations?
True.
Yeah, because Chicago and then Anaheim and then in London. I mean, they are well aware that Hayden is a hot commodity and is request number 1 on the list of Star Wars fans. So you don't have to sweat a single bullet.
Micah Hill says Hayden is confirmed for the show.
About Hayden showing up.
Daddy
Totally
Josh, if we see a Clone Wars flashback with Hayden in Clone Wars armor, I will cry my bleep off. Oh yes, I think that is a popular demand. Certainly, that a lot of people have been wanting. I think that was something people wanted to see in Kenobi as well, but I think the chances especially are higher in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
You know what I'm also thinking? We have that 2-episode premiere, and the trailers usually only ever show. I do think Mando Season 3 trailer was the most flexible in terms of showing clips that spanned across the whole entirety of the season. But previously, Star Wars trailers are extremely conservative and honestly only ever show content that's from the first 2 to 3 episodes. And then the final latter half of the season is usually unseen footage, nothing in the trailers at all. So what do you guys think? Do you think this trailer will remain similar to that trend? Do you guys think everything we've seen in this trailer is going to go down in this 2-episode premiere, maybe a little bit in the 3rd, and then like the rest unknown, uncharted?
You want to know what's going to happen in the show? I just figured it out.
Okay.
I just came up with a plot thread. MU Crisco, thanks for subscribing.
Thank you for the
channel.
sub.
I think we had someone else up here. Techno Caveman, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Freddie Rojo, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel.
These people might not be tuning in live.
Well, they might not be. They might be here. If they are here, welcome. Happy to have you. So yes, I think I just came up with the central turning point of this show and what's going to happen.
Okay.
I think I have a very good theory that I've been thinking on since I watched the trailer, and there's evidence to back it up.
Within the last 6 minutes.
Yep. Yep. And there's evidence to back it up.
From Tyson. Do we want to answer this real quick? It's very generous.
Yes.
Very generous. Thank
Tyson.
you so much.
Like, do you own Tyson like chicken nuggets?
I don't know if you've heard the rumor, but apparently Ahsoka is supposed to fight Anakin on Mustafar in the world between worlds, and is supposed to help her understand that there's nothing she could have done to stop him from turning. What the F? I did not hear that.
Tyson.
Here? Oh, Bully McGuire says that's Star Wars theory's theory? Oh, frick. Frick.
Tyson, are you Dave Filoni's burner account?
Oh, shiz.
Interesting. Now, that would be awesome. I don't know if I like the idea that it would be in the world between worlds. I think I would rather it be just some type of force vision or nightmare of some kind.
Oh.
Like you have Luke's experience in the cave on Dagobah. He's imaginary fighting Vader.
Mm-hmm.
You have I had the other one in my head and I just forgot. Is it something with Kanan? Who is it? I think it's in Rebels, where they go into the Jedi Temple. Maybe it's Ezra, and then Ezra like fake fights someone. I think Ezra has that same experience as well.
Kanan fought the Jedi Temple guards.
Yes, that's true. Yes, Kanan with the Grand Inquisitor when he was a Jedi Temple guard.
Yeah.
Correct. Like, I think it would make more sense if it was something of that nature. Like, if Ahsoka starts going into, I don't know, she is looking for something, has some type of Force revelation or something, or even like Cal, he's fighting his master in Fallen Order, right? Like, he has that experience at the temple on Dathomir. He ends up fighting his master. I feel like that would make more sense than using the world between worlds, because the world between worlds would imply that, at least in my head, that Ahsoka would have to use the world between worlds to go to a point in the timeline where Anakin's on Mustafar, meaning Revenge of the Sith, and so that would be like a canon fight of Ahsoka and Anakin in the Revenge of the Sith timeline.
Cal Westis, what's up?
What's up, Cal?
Had to give him a shout out.
But we know that Ahsoka doesn't know that Anakin turned to the dark side until the Rebels time frame. So, like, if Ahsoka went in the world between worlds, went back in time to... But I guess if she went in the world between worlds after everything has happened in the time frame of Ahsoka, then technically the version of Ahsoka that's fighting Anakin in Revenge of the Sith is the version of Ahsoka, you know, from the Mando time frame, who already knows that he's to the dark side. So she goes back to that moment to fight him. But it would have to be before Obi-Wan shows up. So would it be between when Anakin slaughters Newt Gunray and the boys before Obi-Wan shows up, and then they fight, and then she leaves to the world between worlds, and Anakin is bewildered?
And that's why he's crying before Padme shows up. No, that's risky. That's freaking risky.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think what so-and-so was saying was... I want to address by name, not so-and-so. Tyson H. I think what Tyson was suggesting, a similar situation. Spoilers, I think I should just say, going forward, Rebels spoilers. World Between Worlds. I'm going to drop a major Rebel spoiler in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, if that's not something you want to hear. I think what Tyson is suggesting, that it's going to be a parallel similar to Ezra's predicament when he discovered the world between worlds and saw that he had the opportunity to go and save Kanan. And Ahsoka talked him out of it and said, you can't alter the course of history. He died for a reason. Like, it would affect all of you. It would affect your destiny right now. Like, nothing would be the same. It's not what you think it would do. Like, it would have irreparable damage if you interfered this way. And she talks him out of it. I think Tyson is suggesting, what if Ahsoka has a similar scenario herself, where she's faced with that struggle of, oh shoot, if she does hack back into the world between worlds and see that opportunity with her master, like, you know, having to talk herself off the ledge. I think, Tyson, if you're still here, feel free to clarify. The rumor is that she takes the place of Obi-Wan on Mustafar. Oh, frick!
Yeah, I mean, if that's gonna happen, then it would have to be like Force Vision type of situation. Because if it's World Between Worlds, the taking the place of Obi-Wan wouldn't make sense, at least without thinking about it too much more. But let me say this. If we see Anakin, Hayden, Prime fighting on Mustafar, I don't care what the context is or why it's happening, why our eyes are ingesting that, I don't care. Shove it as far into my eyes as you possibly can.
Jeez.
I mean, just I will stare at that screen for the rest of eternity. Drew, that's exactly right. I can't wait until Dave shows us what Star Wars is in the past, future, and present. Exactly. That's what they're teasing. That's what they're showing us. This is Ahsoka's main event. This is her main event. So it's going to give the audience a taste of the past, a taste of the present, and then whatever's in store for the future. So, yeah. So all in all, I mean, I'm not sold on the World Between Worlds piece. Sounds like you aren't either.
Yeah, I think it was better depicted. I think that's one of those things that is better saved for animation. Like, I don't know how I'd react to it live action necessarily, and I feel like Ahsoka also, it's clear that she also has overcome the temptation of what the World Between Worlds offers in regards to interference. Like, I think she's... What did I just unlock? What did I
That's
unlock?
what it is. She's in the World Between Worlds, and she sees Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting.
That's what I was suggesting.
And her temptation to actually get in there and help Obi-Wan.
Yes, but she has to sit there and tell herself what she told Ezra.
Yeah.
You might think that this is going to have a positive outcome, but this will actually do irreversible damage. Anakin had to become Vader.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. Like,
yeah, with that context post Return of the Jedi, Luke has clearly told her what happened on the Death Star because they're friends. So, I think we also are overlooking the fact that we're probably going to see Luke again.
There's so many people we could see. Somebody earlier mentioned Callus. I totally effing want to see Agent Callus for sure. He's like one of the best characters from Rebels. People were mentioning that via IMDb, it's confirmed that Tamora Morrison will be appearing as Rex. Like, this trailer alone was extremely hype, but I think there's actually so much hidden gems.
Yeah.
How awesome was Ray Stevenson? I know, bro. It's so heartbreaking and tragic because his role seems so freaking amazing. And I was speaking, you know, to this subject in my reaction, but like, I didn't go in this much depth, but I feel like it's been hard for Star Wars to introduce new characters that survive very well, or new antagonists especially. For example, Reva, I mean, I can't even say that word without opening the can of worms that was the reception to her character. Not necessarily for good reason. We all know.
I don't think it was so much character. I think it was more that she got a ton of screen time and Obi-Wan...
Yes, but I'm just saying...
could have had more screen
time. I think in general it's been hard for Star Wars to introduce... I mean, except for like Mando, XYZ, but there's definitely been a reliance in tapping back into legacy characters and familiar faces and cameos that people know. So the fact that already everybody is totally invested in Balin and who are these people? They're obviously not Jedi. Are they ex-Jedi? Like, the fact that everyone's really, really freaking into that, like, is already such a good sign, and the show hasn't even freaking started, and he's been so amazing and intriguing, and even just the first teaser. So it's just it's so tragic that he's not going to be able to, you know, see the reception, the already positive reception and hype there is surrounding that character. It's definitely going to change the way, you know, we all watch the show. But that said, I mean, I think he's maybe going to steal the show. He's so incredible. It's such an amazing talent. For those of you who have seen his other work, he is amazing in everything I've seen him in, and he is a scene stealer. Did you see him in Rome? Yes, he's freaking amazing in that show. Rome, friggin' Vikings. He's so phenomenal. So I think it's a really good sign that in a show that has all these legacy characters, this is the most stacked I think it's been in terms of returning familiar faces. Ahsoka, Mon Mothma, Hera, Sabine, Ezra, Thrawn, and obviously the other rumors of Anakin, Rex, whoever else could make an appearance. Luke Skywalker, if that is involved again. Like, I think in a show where it's got a stacked lineup of familiar people that you don't even need to generate fan hype because it's already there if the audience is familiar with those roles, I think it's still impressive that I'm even more intrigued in the new people which has been rare for me
Yeah.
for Star Wars, like, because I am a sucker for the legacy peeps.
Yeah.
So, okay.
You ready to hear what happens in the show?
Okay. Yes.
You guys ready to hear what
Sorry, we drew this out.
what I think's gonna happen in the show?
Go for it.
At least the main central driver of the show. And I'm leaving the jacket on because
Are you getting hot?
you might think I am getting hot.
Okay,
But
leave it on.
I'm waiting
Okay.
until I say, because it could be a hot take.
You also got to show
I
out,
don't know.
show off your shirt underneath. You have an
I
amazing.
don't know, like,
Should we answer this super chat before you
Andrew.
get into it?
Andrew, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Again, Tom, do you think if the Ahsoka series does well, do you think we could finally get Heir to the Empire movie? And congratulations on the upcoming wedding. Thanks so much, Andrew.
you.
Yes, for those who don't know, thank you to everyone who's congratulated us. We've been engaged for almost like 2 years now, it feels like, but we're finally getting married later this year, so it's coming up. I who knows? I do think that's actually a really good point. And I am curious because I feel like we're at a stepping stone now where it's like all the projects that have been in development and the major announcements that were announced years ago have come to fruition now. So we're at a stepping stone where it's like, what's next? So if Ahsoka were to perform really well, I would hope that could maybe be in the works.
Yeah.
Want to share? All right. Tom's going to share
we'll see.
his
Okay.
His projections.
Okay. Crystal says let's hear it. So
Yeah.
here you go, Crystal. Here you go. Chris is hinting at it here. I hope they go a little into how Ahsoka and Luke first met and they learned of each other. So yes, that's key. The fact that they tease that in Book of Boba Fett is key. That they have a relationship and they know each other. So I'm not exactly sure how it starts out. But it's seemingly that there's whispers of Thrawn returning, right? Hera tries to get help from the New Republic, aka Mon Mothma and their New Republic government. They say traditional, too big of a risk, yada yada, we don't want to get involved, blah blah blah, it's all rumors, yada yada. So the New Republic basically gives this leftover band of fighters the cold shoulder, which is interesting because like we see in Mando that like Carson Teva and others are like with the New Republic and they're kind of casually patrolling the galaxy, blah blah blah. So my guess is that Thrawn's coming back, we need more taxpayer money or whatever pushed into the military to ramp up. We got to re-ramp up. We just kind of decommissioned all these ships, all this stuff.
Thrawn's coming back. Get your taxes out.
It all comes back to taxes. There's been so many tax debates on this show.
Oh my
And we're back to taxes. It all comes back to taxes. But no, so they're trying to get additional funds and resources to go fight the Thrawn battle. They give Hera the cold shoulder. So she goes to Ahsoka and she, I guess, is not entirely sold on it. Maybe she is. Maybe she's the one who's pushing Hera to go to the New Republic. That piece I'm not sure, and it'll be curious to see how that plays out. But I think ultimately, New Republic gives cold shoulder. Hera and Ahsoka and whoever else their immediate gang then says, okay, well, how are we going to do this? And then that's where Luke comes into play. Getting his counsel, getting him on board. And then I think that's where we see and it glimpses into their history and what's happened there. But then I think we're finally going to get the Force Ghost Council roped in to figure out how to deal with this threat. Because at this point,
I should
it's
have
up to
known.
them.
Keep talking.
Because the Republic, they don't want to go down the same path. So I think we're finally going to see. Finally going to see. Ahsoka, Luke, in the flesh. And then the wise counsel, guidance of Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin coming together, and this will be the culmination of the Jedi Force Ghost Council for the first time after Return of the Jedi. We're gonna finally see them make decisions and put a together game plan and all work together, and it'll be the pinnacle of happiness, Jedi nostalgia that we've all been waiting. But we then know that, you know, what happens with the sequels, which are, they're not going to retcon them. So we know what happens with the sequels. We know that Luke cuts himself off from the Force. So, what we don't know is between the period of, you know, when we see Luke and Mando and Ahsoka and what happens in the sequels. Like, we don't know how much Force Ghost interaction Luke had, Ahsoka had, but we know that Luke has talked to them since, you know, in between Return of the Jedi and The Last Jedi at some point. Because Yoda shows up as soon as Luke reconnects with the Force. So, I think it's implied and a safe implication to assume that the Force Ghost Council was working with Luke up until some point. Whether that point goes all the way up to when he cut himself off with the Force, who knows? Or whether the Force Ghost kind of just took a step back. They're like, hey, you don't need our help. You got it, blah, blah, blah. It seems like that could happen after this initial conflict is resolved. Unless the Force Ghost Council is trying to figure out, okay, where's Exegol? And then they got to keep staying involved. But then it all gets derailed once Luke cuts himself off from the Force, and then basically they can't communicate with him to figure it out. But I think that, you know, we have no idea what happens, how this conflict ends up getting resolved. I think it probably gets resolved in Dave Filoni's movie.
Yeah.
Seems like that's being pitched as the culmination of the Mandoverse. So whatever happens from Boba Fett, Mando, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, whatever, like all that stuff is going to wrap up
about Skeleton
with this
Crew.
movie. So I think they're going to use this to set up and show the scale of this conflict. Because right now it's like, oh, Thrawn's returning. I was like, what does that mean? We know Exegol in Rise of Skywalker means that Palpatine has an entire planet's worth of planet-killing Star Destroyers that he can raise up through the ice. So it's like, how are they going to set up this conflict being to that scale? And that's, I think, a way to say to the audience, this is a really big deal, is if the iconic characters of the Star Wars franchise and their Force Ghost Council come together to try and solve it. That's an easy way to say it's a really big deal if the most important characters in the saga are saying this is a big deal. Versus Rise of Skywalker, it was Poe Dameron saying he's returned, this is a big deal. When you're like, okay, well, it's Poe. Versus if Rey had some type of communication with Force Ghost saying this is a huge deal. We were trying to figure it out with Luke. They lost his trail. They couldn't get it. And now the time has come where you need to rise up and blah, blah, blah. Like if the frame of the conflict in the Rise of Skywalker came from the Jedi Masters, I feel like the audience is instantly like, wow, this is a much bigger deal, much bigger conflict. Versus the small ragtag group of rebels randomly intercept the message and then deduce that, yeah, this is a big deal.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
Andrew,
That was
thank
a
you
lot.
for the super chat. Do you want to address his
Andrew,
cue?
thank you. Thank you. Tom, do you think we should get a series before Return of the Jedi? So whenever Luke are trying to rescue Han Solo. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be interesting. I would be more. I think I would be, if we're going for a show in the original trilogy time frame, I think I would be interested in a show of, like, we know Vader discovers Luke as a Skywalker in the comics through Boba Fett. But I would be curious to see that Vader hunting for Luke in between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. I would like to see a show about that. Because I know they've touched on it in the comics, but a lot of those are really, really good stories, and I think that would be a great show.
Hey, what's up? Sweet Lord. Well, that was a lot.
I just ranted for like 20 minutes.
Sal, thanks for being here. Good to see you, my friend. You do bring up a good point, which is that you mentioning all that did make me realize that I don't think this show... My biggest hope is that we get closure for Ahsoka in regards to the self-imposed guilt, this weight that she has carried in regards to Anakin, and that sense of regret and wondering what would happen if she never left. I think they hinted at that in Rebels. That still definitely is a weight that sits on her shoulders, and even, you know, here it's clear that she keeps having this pattern and she's self-aware. She admits, you know, I left Anakin, then I left Sabine. Like, I like that she has the self-awareness, because that is the Ahsoka trend. It's like right when you need her, she dips and pieces out. So clearly, you know, her past is still impacting her current actions and relationships, and her stance at being, you know, her approach to being Sabine's master.
Satine and Mace Windu are showing up in the show.
Not Satine. So I hope that the closure we get at least is for Ahsoka in that regard, because this to me implied she still has some weight dealing with that on her shoulders, and Ray Stevenson's character Baylan is taunting her with her master's name. Like, it's clear this is still a pressure point, a trigger point for her. So if we get any closure in the show, I hope it's in regards to that. But that said, hearing you talk, and yes, I keep forgetting this is all culminating in a larger scheme, a larger cinematic event. And actually, I don't think this show itself, I think this actually is going to end on a very open point that's leading to larger conflict that Ahsoka alone cannot conquer. And the rebellion is clearly, you make other good points, like we see, you know, the New Republic in Mandalorian. It's really not all it's cut out to be. It's not all butterflies, roses, rainbows, sunshine. Before I keep going, Daddy Josh, just wanted to say I appreciate you both so much. And I always love the Dark Discourse streams. Thank you. We appreciate you. Also, if you look back at the trailer, yes, Vader is breathing at 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Wait a second.
It's when they mention his name.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
It's when they mention his name.
Okay, well, we're going to go back and watch it, because I did not catch that.
That.
Yeah, sorry. 145? Okay. That's a little loud. All right, I'm listening.
I could spoke highly of you.
Did you hear it? I didn't hear it.
I could spoke
Okay, I heard it.
Oh, there it was.
I could spoke highly of you.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Good ears, Father Josh. Good ears.
Well, that's been like trending. Everybody, everybody's been I actually didn't hear that the first time I watched the trailer, TBH.
Yeah, that's a real subtle nod there.
But it's interesting, and somebody commented on my video, why when they mention Anakin would they have Vader breathing? And I think the point is to show that she still can't hear Anakin's name without thinking of him as Vader.
Yeah.
It haunts her.
Yeah. So who I think there's another super chat in here.
Is this from Tyson again?
Tyson, thank you.
Ooh, I think she'll get that closure from Luke telling her about Anakin's redemption. Oh.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that we're gonna see in this show the first time that Ahsoka and Luke actually meet. I think we're gonna get that, and then yeah, I think we're gonna get the moment of, you know, Luke revealing what happened on the Death Star, because that has to come from Luke himself, and if he knows that Ahsoka was Anakin's apprentice, then he would be willing to tell her that. So I think the intriguing part is, how does that spin then into Anakin's actual ghost actually showing up and talking? Because it seems like, I mean, the Force Ghost thing is so like, there's all these like soft rules and they can change them, and it's constantly changed over time. And it's like the Force Ghost rules are so not even rules. They're just, they kind of can do what they want and it fits and they can manipulate it. So it's like, first question would be like, why didn't Anakin talk to Ahsoka directly prior to this? They're going to come up with a reason why that didn't happen. I mean, I think the Kenobi series actually kind of gave us maybe a reason there, because Obi-Wan's, he sees Qui-Gon at the end. I guess spoilers for Kenobi if you haven't seen it, but Qui-Gon's in it.
If you haven't seen Kenobi.
At the end, Obi-Wan's like, Master Qui-Gon. And he's like, where have you been? And Qui-Gon says, I've always been there, Obi-Wan. You just weren't ready to see. So if Ahsoka's still holding on to this guilt, if Luke tells her, then she realizes what happened. She lets go of the guilt. And then now she's ready to see Anakin. And then he shows up. Like, that would be the perfect moment. Like, if you're trying to script the perfect, heaviest hitting moment possible, it's Ahsoka meets Luke. Luke tells her what happened, that Anakin was redeemed. He brought balance to the Force. He is the chosen one. You know, he destroyed the Emperor, yada, yada. She's going to let go of all this guilt. It's going to be an epiphany moment for her. And then she's going to be ready to see, as Qui-Gon says, and then Force Ghost Anakin can present himself. And they can have the reunion. What do you think of that? Thoughts?
I think you need to get Force Ghosts out of your head.
What do you mean I need to get Force Ghosts out of my head?
I just think you
do.
I just think you do. Danny, remember for 18 months. Thank you so much, my friend. I hope everyone is doing well. Sorry for the major subject change, but Kat, I wanted to let you know that I rewatched Les Mis, and I think you'd play an amazing Fantine or Cosette. Okay, carry on. That's actually, thank you. You have good intuition, because when I did theater in high school, I did Les Mis twice. And first time around I played Cosette, second time around I played Eponine. But Fantine was like the sought after role that everybody was gunning for. So you have good intuition. From Matthew, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for being here. Are you going to be in Vader episode 2? Yes, we've been talking about theory and Vader and whatnot. To be completely honest, I have no idea. I really don't actually know. That's genuine. That is not me pulling an Andrew Garfield or Liam Neeson and pretending to not have any clue. When in actuality they did. That is genuine. I don't know. Well, it's hopefully I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But I truthfully actually have no clue. There won't be much Force Ghost stuff. Thank you, Brian. Yes.
It's not going to be the adventures of the Force Ghosts. It's not going to be Force Ghosts in every episode. But I feel like the Force Ghosts are going to be the catalyst, the
catalytic converter.
The catalyst, yeah. They're going to be the catalytic converter of the show. There's going to be this huge looming threat. They're going to come in to restore hope, put together a game plan, yada, yada. Obviously not going to do anything, but they're going to advise Ahsoka, the main character, what she needs to do and how she needs to do it. So I think they're going to be involved. They're not going to reincarnate and actually go fight Thrawn or do anything like that, but I think they are going to show up. They are going to play a role in terms of the catalytic converter of the show, the catalysm. the catalyst.
Catalyst.
Cataclysmic.
Dave Velez, thank you so much. Wouldn't it be awesome if Ahsoka witnesses Anakin's redemption in World Between Worlds, or she drags Ezra before the Purgles takes him in Thrawn? Ooh.
Interesting.
But I think whatever happens with Ezra and the Purgles has to happen. That's also one of the biggest like, what the flip happened there? And why do we see Thrawn but not Ezra? Where did he go? What?
What do you mean? Like in the trailers we see Thrawn?
Yes, we see Thrawn.
We see Ezra in the hologram.
Is that not flashback though? Yes, but it's clear Ezra is still missing, and everyone's saying Thrawn's coming back. But like, what? Why is Ezra missing and Thrawn is not? Like, what's happening? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think they're still like, what are we gonna? They're anticipating Thrawn's comeback, so he's still AWOL. Aiden, remember for 21 months. Holy
Aiden.
flip, one of the OGs. Thanks so much for being here. It's good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long hot minute. How have you been? We've been great. We've been fab. Been off to a good summer, and now that it's kicking into high gear and this Star Wars drought is almost over. You're fine. Are you taken by this one right here? Speaking, by the way, you said you were getting hot. Do you want to take your suit jacket off?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really... I don't think we really have anything to debate.
Yeah, we're not really debating.
We're in agreement here.
We're not debating. You don't need the
we're in agreement.
authority
is
of the
Mace Windu
suit
showing up?
jacket.
Yes or no? You want to
Oh,
debate that?
sweet Jesus.
You
Sweet
wanna
goodness
debate that?
gracious. Okay, here's... All right, I'm not gonna... Maybe we will trickle into debate. I'm not gonna shut down everything you just said, but I'm kind of gonna shut down everything. You just... Get your mind... Force Ghosts, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
You're just saying that because you don't want to manifest. You don't want to be disappointed.
Yes! You've had ideas that have been great, but they never effing come to fruition.
But guess what?
You have wild freaking ideas.
Guess
you
what?
said Darth Maul was gonna show up in, like, Kenobi. Where did you say Maul was gonna, like, show up? I forget.
In a, like, Mando flash.
Oh, yes, you said Darth Maul was gonna get Grogu.
No, I did not.
You
No.
did.
I did not say Maul was going to get Grogu. No. Someone in the chat said Maul was going to get Grogu. I said that Palpatine, one of the clones,
oh my God,
would have taken Grogu and thrown him on Mount Tantus. I did not say ever, one time, that Maul was going to take Grogu from the temple. That is false. That is incredibly false.
I'm with Tom, says Cal Westis. In regards to manifesting the Force Ghosts, here's the thing.
They're going to show up. They're not going to be...
Tom does this all the time.
This is Dave Filoni's child series.
Yes.
They tease in this trailer Anakin twice, Ahsoka's past, Ahsoka's present, Ahsoka's future. She knows all of these Force Ghosts. She knows Luke, she knows Anakin, she knows Yoda, she knows Obi-Wan. She knows all of them. What we've seen with the Force Ghosts is they only show up if the recipient of their Force Ghost present knows them and knows them well. Luke talking to Obi-Wan in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And then obviously Luke talking to Yoda in the Last Jedi.
Here's the thing, though.
And in Return of the Jedi.
I think you could be missing a key tidbit, though. Ahsoka no longer identifies as a Jedi. And I think she may be abandoned...
Dave Filoni said don't take that too literally.
Okay, but. I think she also abandoned her training with Sabine because that's a slippery internal slope for her. The whole ordeal with Grogu. Like, she has hesitations about her Jedi past and doesn't want to talk about her past. XYZ. I don't know if Ahsoka necessarily wants to hit up Force Ghosts of the past. I don't know if she's not full-blown Jedi mentality. I don't even know if she's capable.
She wants to be with Luke. She's interacting with Luke. She knows Luke. She's talking to Luke. If she didn't want anything to do with the Jedi, she would be with Luke.
This is turning into a debate.
So yes, it is.
Dave,
I'm glad I kept
member for 5 months.
On.
Thank you so much, my friend. Haven't been a member long. Of course you have. 5 months is a long, hot time. Long, hot minute. I'm glad I am. Going back to Star Wars Theory, he did name drop you a few weeks ago that you're in his Vader 2 film. Well, I haven't heard. He might have said Padme.
Interesting.
And I'd be honored if you equate me with Padme, but I think because it's going to be all CG, all mocap, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. Who does know? Cat caught red-handed. No, I swear to God. I swear to God, this is news. I don't know. I do not know. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because now I'm just digging myself a hole. The more people talk about it, the more rumors just swirl. Cat rises and Tom to meet it. Okay, here's my point. Here's the thing. I do not think the Force Ghosts aren't stepping in, and here's why. Things are already looking pretty bleak. And if you're suggesting that this all boiling down, or rather boiling up, leading to the boiling point of the origins of the First Order, Exegol, Palpatine's inevitable eventual return, things are gonna go from bleak to worse. Like we're at a weird phase right now where these shows might not be getting happy endings because this is all leading to the First Order. So Force Ghosts are not going to step in. Because if they did, they would have nipped everything in the bud from the start. Granted, nobody freaking knew that Palpatine's resurrection, his cloning, was in the works. That came as...
That's integral.
Are you... Yes.
They need to explain why Force Ghosts didn't alert anyone and why no one knew about it.
You're saying Force Ghosts knew about it?
No, I'm saying they need to explain why they didn't know about it. Because it's not clear. Everyone's assuming that, oh, they knew about it.
Well, I think Palpatine is smart enough that he would know how Force Ghosts operate or whatnot. He would know how to conceal that.
He doesn't know keys about the Force Ghosts.
He's informed in both ways. They're saying Ahsoka is in Mando season 3 time. Yes, I did see that. I did see. Thank you again, Dave, for the super chat. I did see that. That's parallel, I believe, to season 3. I can't talk now, guys, because we're getting worked up. Cat is Andrew Garfield. I know. Okay, all right. You're not letting me finish, though.
What?
You're not letting me finish. I let you go on for like 5 minutes. Yes, I think it's not going to get to that point, though. Because that's the sequel story. And Dave Filoni is going to want to focus on this present story. Yes, everything is going to be working up to that. And yes, he has the challenge of integrating that into whatever the cinematic event comes to be. And tying Thrawn and how he has to plant the seeds, or at least lay the groundwork for them to be vulnerable enough that the First Order would rise at that point in time in the galaxy. Tom Palpatine did hide his identity from the Jedi. Exactly, Dave. Exactly. Thank you again for the super chat. Yes, I think Palpatine knows more about how to maneuver around cloning himself so that nobody would detect it than you're giving him credit for. Because he obviously did it undetected for years, for however freaking long.
I'm saying that the Jedi didn't know about it. I'm in
Here's
that
the
bucket,
point.
But they need to explain why they did it.
Listen to this conversation. Look how far we've already diverged from the Ahsoka. We're not even talking about the same thing anymore.
We are. We're talking about it. We're totally talking about it.
No.
The big question is Thrawn's coming back.
Yes.
Okay. How does Thrawn as a threat compare to Exegol and Palpatine? Are they connected? Are they not? How did Thrawn come up out of nowhere, and how are they going to react? So the question is how if the Force Ghosts know, if the Jedi know, meaning Luke, who's alive, Ahsoka, who's alive, if they, I think we can all assume they didn't know. So they didn't know. Okay. So if they didn't know, then it makes sense. No one knew about it. But your instant thought is, well, the Force Ghosts should know about it. They know everything, right? The Force Ghosts can see everything. Why don't they know about it? So that's up in the air. They have to make it clear that either the Force Ghosts knew, they tried to do something, but then like Luke threw it away when he cut himself off from the Force. Or I think what they are probably going to do would make it clear that the Force ghosts don't know. Like, they have no idea. Even though that comic of like Vader going to Exegol, it makes you think, okay, well, how could Vader have gone to Exegol in the Empire Strikes Back time frame and then not known about it? Like, he knew about it. He totally knew about it. So how can they go to knowing about it and then not actually doing anything about it to stop it? And I think the kicker is that in Rise of Skywalker, like, it's revealed that Luke and Lando go looking for Exegol because they knew about it. So clearly they knew about Exegol somehow, right? They knew about it. But they didn't find it. So I think they knew about Exegol, but I don't think the Force Ghosts knew that Palpatine actually survived, because it would have been much more urgent. So if the Force Ghosts get involved now, because Thrawn is coming back, this is the biggest threat that's known. And they might even think that, oh, Thrawn went to the unknown regions, he knew about Exegol, they went and it's going to be that fleet that Anakin knows about, and so that's why they're ramping up now. And once they think they've defeated Thrawn, they probably think, oh, the Exegol threat is gone. Maybe. But then you've got Ochi, and Luke knows about Ochi, and then Ochi's going to Exegol, and the Sith cultists, and all that stuff. So, and I think it's implied that, like, well, no, because that would have been when Rey was a child. So if Rey, how old is Rey?
Sweet Jesus.
How old is Rey?
No, we're not talking about this.
How old is Rey in the Rise?
Do you hear yourself?
Rey is.
She's supposed to be like 19 in Force Awakens. So yes, early 20s.
20. I guess 25.
Okay.
In Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
She's 25. She's what? How old is she when she's on Jakku with
like 19.
60 portions?
19.
No, like when she's a child and she's left there.
Oh, 9? I don't know. A kid.
Okay.
She was there for
So
a
it'd
long
be like
time.
10 years prior. This takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So there's still 25 years in between that's unaccounted for. So Aiden, come on, man. Come on.
This is it. He's proving my point though. Do you hear yourself?
This is what we have to do. We have to given 2 minutes of trailer, we have to figure out what happens in the 40-year canon between Return of the Jedi and Force
Here's
Awakens.
the thing though.
40-year time span. We got to figure it all out.
They're not gonna address all that right now. You're thinking large, grand, freaking schemes.
Correct. And this show is more fit to touch the large grand scheme than any other show.
Why on earth do you think that when Ahsoka isn't even freaking in the sequels? She's not in the sequels.
Why is that? They gotta.
Maybe she dies beforehand. I don't know. The point is, her story. Why the frick would they make her show so correlated with leading up to the sequels? They have their own stuff to be focusing on right now. We're on small potatoes right now. That's grand scheme, large picture. We're focusing on the bleak moments in time right now where it seems like the New Republic isn't really doing that great of a job, and they're vulnerable, and they're going to falter, and there's going to be an opportunity for the Empire to come back, led by Thrawn. That's what we're focusing on, not how that all boils into this larger snowball.
Why did Mando have 3 seasons of cloning?
Yes,
and
obviously they're dropping hints.
Obviously
they're dropping hints. The point is, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Here, read this comment from Alice to make you feel better.
We'll be laughing later when all his...
Tom will be laughing later when all his theories come to reality again.
No, because none of your theories ever come true. None of your theories ever come true. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Use the world between worlds to have Filoni / Gilroy write sequel / Obi-Wan / Boba, also Rey and Lars as baddies in one series for real. That's gonna be amazing. Still have to do that interview, Kat. That's actually so true. The star power, Rey and Lars. I'm genuinely curious how much of a role. I don't think Lars is actually gonna have that much screen time, but it's going to be powerful, whatever he does. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm too worked up now. I can't think straight. What? Where are we? Where are we? I just...
That's funny. Okay, so Ahsoka storyline.
Y'all are not
Thrawn
getting a
comes
good
back.
night's sleep. No,
Ahsoka
no,
joins
no,
together
no, no,
with
no,
Hera
no,
and
no,
Sabine
no.
and the rebels.
Stop it.
They have a confrontation with Thrawn.
One question.
They
Where is
kill-
Zeb? Good question,
Where is
Rockero.
Zeb?
He was hanging out with Carson Teva at that. Because that's what this is going to be about. You
Carson
hear
Teva?
no, you hear Hera pleading with Mon Mothma, the other leaders of the OG rebel cells, pleading, saying, "We've already been through a major war. I'm not trying to go through another one." We know for a fact that eventually they probably do, and they lose, and the First Order comes back. Or doesn't come back, rather, because it never existed, but it comes to fruition. This show's gonna be, yes, a personal journey for Ahsoka, but her journey, it's not gonna tie into the... I don't think... No, this Force Ghost stuff isn't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna tie in as much as you think it is with the sequels right now, because also, we don't know. There could be a whole second season of Ahsoka in the works that we don't know about, that they haven't announced. Who knows how many seasons of the show there's gonna be before that movie is slated to come out, because didn't it get pushed back to like 2026 or something like that?
Something like that.
So there could be a whole season 2. I think the cast was expressing at Celebration. Sorry, weird music just played. But I think the cast members were expressing that they would be they'd be down for another season. Like, I don't know, alluding to the fact that the story is still
We know the story's not going to be resolved.
open-ended. Yes,
Because we know we have Dave Filoni's culmination movie that's coming up. So like, we know the story's not going to wrap up.
I want to read some
We
comments.
know that they're going to save the big bang event for this movie that's going to happen. So we know we're not going to get full closure.
I feel like there's
of
a
any kind
ghost
until then.
around.
But I think you're right. Your point about this show could focus on the closure of her guilt with Anakin and the past. Her clearly in the trailer is setting up that she doesn't want to talk about the past. I don't want to talk about the past. I'm not here to talk about the past.
Colin says there
Blah, 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 blah,
definitely will be a season 2.
So
Jay, I like this point. Force Ghosts can't intervene with earthly problems because freedom of choice comes into play. Good call. I
has it really got to
assume
the point where you are tired of hearing me talk, so you just read the.
we've strayed so far from the
I'm
path.
bringing it back. I was commending
Those
you
four
for
of
your point.
Mandalore strayed from the path. I assume Hera and Zeb are still kicking it. I think they are. But last we saw Zeb, that is curious, because he's not in these trailers at all, but we did see him. They revealed him, and he looked freaking kick-ass, I must say. He looked really good in live action. He's probably the one character I was most concerned about. How would that transition go from animation to live action? But he looked amazing in Mando Season 3. But we see that he's obviously chilling at that outpost where it seems everybody from the New Republic is just hanging out, kind of chilling, relaxing, nothing major is happening. I need to rewatch the trailer again, just because now I'm like, what even is the conflict? The other thing is that the First Order revealed itself when Starkiller Base blew up the New Republic, so there is so much time between Ahsoka show and that. Thank you, Cal! Yes! Thank you! So freaking true. Colin says there definitely will be a season 2. The Force Ghosts are coming for you, Cat. Watch out. I know, they're gonna be like, all this slander. She doesn't think we exist.
It's fine. I know what you're doing. I know that you're just setting yourself up to not be disappointed. But this is a story that Dave Filoni has written the entire thing. No one else has had their hands
this isn't about
on
the
this
Force
story.
Ghost. It's about freaking Ahsoka. The only Force
And
Ghost
guess
we should be
what?
seeing is Anakin
She
Skywalker.
has a close relationship with all of them. All of them.
What do
All
you
of
mean?
them. The Force Ghost that we see at the end of Return of the Jedi. What we've seen from the Force Ghost up to this point is Force Ghosts only show up and appear in the flesh to someone they have a close relationship with. So Luke only sees the ones that trained him up to this point. Obi-Wan only sees, you know, Qui-Gon, who he trained with. Ahsoka trained with all of them. All of them.
Here we go again.
She trained with all of them.
Oh, this comment from Joseph. I'm starting to get worried that Ezra is actually dead and the actor was only there for the hologram. Frick. That would be sad. And also other people saying, I'm seeing theories that Ezra joined Thrawn, that Ezra is the Inquisitor. That would be so mother effing sad. Especially because the entire series of Rebels is essentially about Ezra growing from prepubescent goofy teenage kid into a self-assured Jedi, having already battled the temptation. I mean, I think Ezra's story is particularly interesting because he's one other Jedi aside from, of course, Anakin Skywalker and others that have fallen along the way, such as Barriss, XYZ, Pong Krell, but Ezra especially is one that we've seen teeter the line of, well, why can't I tap into the dark side? What's wrong? What's so wrong about the dark side? And seeing him, so much of his story was he overcame those complications.
Yeah, I think it would be aggressive.
So that would suck.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know about that.
That would stink so much.
Okay, we're in agreement now.
Yeah, we're finally agreed.
We're in agreement.
Decent chance Ezra is with Thrawn. I don't know. Ezra better not die. He's too young. He is. He can't. There's no way. Who knows? Holy smokes, you had 2 shirts on? No wonder you're sweating.
It's time to be casual.
Oh my god.
Debate's over.
I think Balin will redeem himself thanks to Ahsoka. We'll see. We will see.
Space Aladdin is probably safe.
Oh, goodness. A lot of theories, though, about who that Inquisitor was at the very end, who I think Vanity Fair released that picture of, that behind the scenes, or not behind the scenes, rather, but a new image of that Inquisitor that went viral on the Star Wars Twitter sphere. And also, I never said hi to Maria. She's gracing us with her presence. What's up? I think that Inquisitor, there's theories that it's Barriss. I think Dave shared his theory that it's definitely Barriss. Some people saying that's Ezra as the Inquisitor, but I totally think that it's I forget what number brother it is, or if we ever even knew what number he was on Malachor, that has already crossed paths with Ahsoka. The costuming is very similar, and he's not confirmed dead necessarily. Inquisitor is Barriss, Misa thinks. There's so many. I mean, telling you.
Barriss would be like the coolest option, right? Because we don't know what happens to her.
Dave is betting his life on this. Dave is confident. No way it's Ezra, and that Inquisitor's too thin to be light to be a guy. I'm sticking to Barriss. Maria. Okay. I trust Maria's expertise, y'all. That's actually true. Kermit the Frog is the Inquisitor. The Rock is the Inquisitor.
It is. Alice.
Simply, good to
Alice,
see you.
you're always one step ahead of everybody else. You're completely right.
She knows what's up.
It's a red herring. Clearly, it's a shapeshifter.
Rumors saying it's Starkiller. No way. That's no.
Clearly, it's going to shapeshift into the Rock. It's a changer. It's going to turn into the Rock after Ahsoka killed him.
Oh my god.
It's Turgle. I think it is Turgle. Does Turgle show up in live action?
Turgle confirmed, yay or nay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rock is always a safe bet. Totally always a safe bet.
Star Killer's too OP for Ahsoka. And there's there's no way. That would not be the way they introduce him into live action. If Starkiller is going to come into play here in the live action canon, I feel like it's got to be in a more obvious way. More hype than, I don't know. Guess that Inquisitor. I'm not sure. Rick the Tour Technician?
Yes, Cal.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, Cal.
Exactly, Maria. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. He'd have his own show, right? He wouldn't just be some side Inquisitor, people guessing the identity for it to be a surprise. Like, he'd be the main event. Or at least I would hope. It's Jack Black.
Isn't that funny, Daddy, that you say that as a joke, but like we actually
Jack
have
Black
Jack
was
Black.
in Star Wars.
There's Jack Black is literally in Star Wars now. But if you had said that like what, 3 months ago, everybody like, what on earth? Like, that's classic. Same odds of The Rock being in Star Wars. And
Dave, thank you for the super chat. Says you have a good point, eh?
I'm glad you think that's a good point. Because I actually don't think that's really the case at all.
I mean, it would be cool. We haven't seen another changeling since
true.
Zam Vessel and Attack the
We
Clones,
haven't,
and
like,
they're freaking cool.
But it's already a masked character, so you don't really need it. Because you just take off the mask and then you see who it is. Versus, like, yeah, Sam Vessel in Attack the Clones. You actually see her change. Versus, like, the Inquisitor, you just take the mask off and then you see the change of the person.
Yeah.
But
excuse me.
But it would be interesting. I think seeing a changer in general would be cool. What if Balin is actually Maul? And Balin's a changer.
What?
Hmm?
Sweet goodness. Now, Balin, having known Anakin, either he's messing with Ahsoka or he actually genuinely did know him. And I think it would be exciting and fun if Balin had, like, was similar to, like, Taron Malico's figure. Like, not so morally corrupt, but just overly passionate to the point that it drives him over the edge of, like, okay, I can't team up with you type. You know? What? What?
Balin's totally Maul.
What the F? No. What the F?
The chat agrees. The chat agrees. Tom, I think you're onto something. See? We're onto something. Oh, sorry.
Maul's done by this point.
Sorry.
Unfortunately.
You don't know that. Obi-Wan could have force healed him after the scene cut.
Asajj Ventress? Shoot. Talk about another. Oh, that'd be sweet. But yeah, no. I hope Balin is. I love when there are antagonists that you can agree with on some points, and you're like, you're not wrong. No. Like Taron Malicos, his whole point was, you know, the Jedi led to their own destruction. Like, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I like when you can sometimes agree with the antagonist because it makes it more internal conflict of rooting for them or whatnot. So I'm curious what Balin's, you know, I think that would definitely be interesting if they were introduced as ex-Jedi, because a lot of people, I'm not saying I agree with this argument, but in the interim, this downtime period waiting for Ahsoka, the argument has arisen. Are there too many ex-surviving Jedi in modern day Star Wars now? Because it started as just a select few, and we were under this impression that only like 5 survived, you know, like...
The under the impression that 2 survived.
Right,
Obi-Wan and Yoda.
Right. We were only, you know, it started from that, and now there's been the introduction of more people surviving, such as Reva becoming Inquisitors, and so a lot of people have expressed concern, you know, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? But I'm more of the ilk that thinks, like, there were a shiz ton of Jedi. I would hope that they weren't so ignorant and blind that only 5 wouldn't have survived. Like, I would hope that enough of them would have gotten out. That said, I think it might be a slippery slope if once again in a show, oh yeah, here are these surviving Jedi. Like, I think a lot of people are getting kind of sick of that.
Yeah, well, I think right now, I mean, the real piece of canon that limits that is Yoda's conversation with Luke in Return of the Jedi on his deathbed. And he's like, when I die, the last of the Jedi you will be.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yes, they can work around it by saying, oh, well, Yoda just didn't know that all these other Jedi were alive.
Yeah, he was just chilling in exile.
However, he talks with Ezra and Kanan in the Lothal Temple and Ahsoka from Dagobah, way before the original trilogy. So like it's clear that they've made a point to show that Yoda is communicating with these other Jedi from Dagobah. So if that's true, with the Jedi we know now, you can easily explain that at the time of Return of the Jedi, there was Yoda, there was Luke. Ahsoka is not a Jedi. They've already shown that she's alive. And then Yoda knows that Ezra is gone somewhere and he's not in the picture. This assumes that Cal is also dead, which I think is true. I think Cal dies pre original trilogy. I don't think he carries on. Obviously we don't know if that's true or not, it's just my theory. But with what we know now, you can easily explain that, okay, the only known light side force users that are in the picture are Luke, Yoda, and Ahsoka, but she doesn't fall under the Jedi umbrella at the moment. But yeah, you still have all the Jedi, Kanan, Ezra, blah, 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 that show up in between pre-original trilogy. Yeah, or if Cal, Maria, you're right. If Cal's just hanging out on Tanalorr throughout the original trilogy, then that could also explain why he's not in the picture. For whatever reason, he chose that path, blah, blah, blah. We obviously don't know how, if he ever interacts with Yoda. We haven't seen that at this point. But I think what Rebels has shown us is that Yoda makes an effort to communicate and find these other Jedi that are out and about. And maybe he only finds Ezra and Kanan because they went to the temple. I mean, we haven't seen Cal go to a temple other than Tanalorr now, right? Because Jeddah doesn't class as a temple. It's just the archive that they built. Mm-hmm. Tanalorr was an actual Jedi temple that they built. Yeah, so I think what we know now, post Return of the Jedi original trilogy, Ezra is likely going to come back. Ahsoka is in the picture. Luke is in the picture. So if it stays at that, like there's nothing that, like they can get away with saying that Yoda knew everyone that was still alive. He could distinguish between who's alive, who's in the picture, and then Return of the Jedi canon stays the same. So I think if they bring back Jedi and they cross from Return of the Jedi into post-original trilogy era, then that's where, at least it seems like that's where people have the biggest issue with it. But if a bunch of people just survive Order 66, but then they still, like obviously the Inquisitor's there and they, kill off remaining Jedi that survived, and if they kill them all off to a point where it's just the ones that we know of at this point, post Return of the Jedi, then I think it still makes sense. MRR Collects just subscribed.
I don't even know what we're talking about
Thank you.
anymore, but
you said, are people tired of all these Jedi surviving Order 66?
Yes.
And my point was,
the spiral.
My point was, I don't think it's that they survived Order 66, but it's that if they survive and their storylines aren't finished, then how many Jedi are actually around in the original trilogy, even though Yoda says only 2 there are.
Yeah.
So I think that's the interesting piece. Yeah, and Bully, that's another good point. I'm surprised Inquisitors still existed after Return of the Jedi. I thought they all got wiped out after Rebels. Mm. Yeah, I think that the Inquisitor shots in Ahsoka are probably, I would imagine, like flashbacks to a much earlier time. Because I don't know why there would be an Inquisitor either after Return of the Jedi. Because Inquisitorius is seemingly shut down. prior to the original
telling you that Inquisitor on Malachor, who is unaccounted for, and he helicopter crashed into the distance.
Yeah.
Not confirmed kill though.
I mean, it is pretty dark where they're fighting, so maybe they're fighting on Malachor. Micah
Hill says, I assume your messages are automatic. Yes, with our new light. Holy smokes, David Velez, thank you for the super chat. But what a theory. Could Shin be Bud's daughter? Kata? Holy smokes. What a theory. I don't even know. Holy smokes, what? I don't think so. But holy smokes, if holy smokes. What was I saying? Yes, Micah, the light is auto-generated to also sync up and queue a chat whenever somebody subscribes. So it is not me typing, it is automatic whenever we do get a new subscriber. I'm out, got work in the morning. Yes, peace out, Aiden. Yes, apologies. Oh, frick, yeah, it's midnight over on the East Coast, so perhaps we can wrap up shortly, because y'all got... It's the middle of the week, but we haven't done a Dork Discourse in a long time, and Tom got his raw initial reaction to the Ahsoka trailer, so we knew it was gonna be a little bit later, unfortunately, so we apologize for that. But we are gonna be back soon, because we're hoping this weekend to go see Indy 5. We've been binging on the, Indiana Jones, and I was anticipating that our upcoming Dork Discourse, whatever next episode we did, was going to be about Indiana Jones, and then I totally forgot that this trailer was in the works, and then the trailer dropped today. So today was like a surprise for all of us, but so yes, apologies that it's a bit later. It's 6 a.m. in Germany, sweet goodness. So that means Colin's been watching us since like 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh my god, dedication. Are we going to talk how awesome Lars Mikkelsen looks as freaking fun? Yes, let's end off on this. I think he looked really, really, really good. Everything about it. And also, I mean, I will say, there were points in this trailer where it was VO, but it was obviously Rosario Dawson speaking. But the inflection in her voice sounded extremely reminiscent of, like, Ashley Eckstein. There were some lines where I was like, holy shit, that's Ahsoka. Yeah. Because admittedly, and one of my, not hesitations about the show, but admittedly, we've only seen her in brief intervals in her cameos in Mando and Book of Boba Fett. You know, it hasn't ever been more than 15 minutes total, I think, her screen time so far. So during that time, it hasn't been enough, I think, for me to click her voice and the appearance, and just not hearing Ashley Eckstein's voice. Like, I don't think it's been long enough for me to click. I think Rosario Dawson is amazing, and yes, like, she is Ahsoka, Ashley Eckstein is Ahsoka. There's no if, and, or but, or sides, I don't think they are both Ahsoka in their own rights, but there was still just some, because it's seamless with Kitty Sackhoff playing Bo-Katan, and now Lars Mikkelsen, thank goodness, voicing and Thrawn, like, that was a big hang up about Grand Inquisitor and Kenobi not having the same voice actor, so there is definitely, I don't think my brain has fully connected voice and appearance and not hearing Ashley Eckstein, just because she's obviously not that I'm choosing sides or saying one is at all better than the other, but it's just what we're familiar with. We've had 7 seasons of Clone Wars. Hearing her voice as Ahsoka, and then only being introduced to her in live action for maybe less than 15 minutes of screen time total, it hasn't clicked and adjusted fully for me. So, but in this trailer, I was like, holy shit, she sounds like Ahsoka. Like, it was wild. My brain definitely had, like, it was weird brain blast moments. But yeah, for Thrawn, I mean, extremely, extremely grateful that Lars's voice, I mean, his voice is like, I would dare say maybe like 85% of what makes him super epic. So
it's very unique.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just chilling every time you hear it. And, I mean, we rewatched Rebels over the last couple months, and I mean, some of the lines that Thrawn has are just so incredibly savage. I mean, that man is a tactical machine with no mercy. So the fact that we get to hear, you have the chance of hearing similar one-liners and expressions
And
in the same voice in live action.
Bye, Nick
Is incredible.
Gundy. Smoother than blue milk, exactly, Nathan. Joseph, my first time meeting Tom. I love his theories and how he tries to fit everything into the known timeline.
Thank you, Joseph.
Yes.
Thanks, Joseph.
Yes. Well, welcome to the. If this is your first time meeting Tom, this must be one of your first Dork Discourse streams. But this is usually a regular podcast that we do weekly here on the channel. We just kind of dropped off for a little bit. But when Ahsoka gets running, we will of course be doing our usual weekly streams like we usually do to cover the shows and talk and review and whatnot. So if this is your first Dork Discourse, welcome. This was an exciting one. We haven't gone at each other's throats like that in a bit, and I didn't think we were going to, but yes, Tom, even if I might not disagree, even if I might not agree, I applaud Tom for his ability to just, like, Aiden's comment was so perfect. You showed this man a 2-minute trailer, and 30 minutes later, he's like, I know exactly what's gonna happen. I applaud Tom and his creativity and his imagination.
That's the problem with, like, with this situation we're in. We have the original trilogy. 5 years later, we have Mando Boba Fett. But now it's still 35 years before we have the next piece of Star Wars canon. And it's like, I feel like the biggest kind of bombshell with the sequels is like, how did we get here?
No, we're not getting into this.
How did we get here, and how did we end up where we are at the end? It's like there's such a huge time gap that they didn't really explain anything of what happens.
We're not
obviously intentionally, so they could fill it in over time. But it's like, as a person who loves Star Wars so deeply, it's like, we want to know what happens. We need to know what happens. We want to know so bad what happens. And so it's like, you can't help it but to think about how everything fits into the grand scheme of the overall timeline. I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Well, on that note,
We got to end with a poll.
no. Why did I also sound like Smeagol? My voice is giving out.
Start a.
What is this gonna be?
I know exactly what it's going to be.
Oh God, I should have known.
Mm-hmm. I spoke.
That's it.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
And with the classic Dork Discourse,
Here we go.
not controversial at all poll.
Oh, goodness gracious. To address, I think I saw somebody comment about emoji rain. Yes, unfortunately, we were doing all those streams on Opus, that new platform that had a lot more AI, the GIFs, the memes, the emoji rain. Unfortunately, Opus has since, what's the word for it? They've sunsetted. I think that's the term Alex and Zach use. They're no longer running their streaming platform, which is a shame because I really loved it. So we're just back to our usual no emoji rain, unfortunately, even though it was so fun, and Zach and I were always just like little kids, like stars, chickens, waffle, like whatever. We were literally like children learning words for the first time.
Bully, for clarification, the council is not the entire Jedi Council from the prequels. The council is just Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin.
Yeah, I think Bully's saying, not whole council, but few folks,
Yes.
definitely
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, Force Ghost Council does not mean take the Jedi Council from the prequels and have that same council. No, the Force Ghost Council is the Force Ghosts we see at the end of Return of the Jedi conversing with Ahsoka and Luke.
Ooh, everyone's on my side.
Yeah, it's a tight poll for sure.
Closer than I thought it was gonna be.
For sure.
Actually, X-Men will be in Ahsoka like Dave Filoni was on Mando. I hope so. Like, I love what Neil Druckmann did with his two main voice actors from Last of Us.
That
Oh, frick.
clarification.
We're neck and neck.
We're
frick.
50-50.
Ah, there we go.
21 votes. We got 37 viewers.
But I love about
Chime in, people.
The Last of Us, like they had the voice actors that gave them new roles and at least gave them cameos in the live action shows, and their roles were actually like pretty pivotal. Like they weren't just like a background with no lines or something like that. So
Matt Lanter got shot in the face.
yeah, Matt Lanter. Rest in peace to his character. Exactly. So that would be really freaking cool if Ashley Eckstein had a cameo or something. Oh, that would be so freaking cool. As long as I see Hayden Christensen, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think if we said, if the poll was, well, we'll end this one and then we'll...
No, we're not doing another one.
Double poll.
No.
Why not?
No.
Why?
You got your chance.
Why? We're done.
You
We're double.
got your
We're doing
chance.
double
No.
Double poll.
Fine, end it while I'm winning.
Double poll.
Most people agree with me.
Okay. 48-52 split. So we're kind of even.
Pretty neck and neck, but
We're
most
even
people are
on the
my side.
whole. On the council. So here, okay, nope. We're gonna ignore that last one. Okay. 45.
54.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Final
round two.
poll.
Poll
Oh my
round two.
goodness.
Maybe the last poll. We'll see.
This is the last poll, so make it good. Oh, I agree. This is totally.
This is gonna be you're not ready for this. You're not ready for this.
I'm not ready for this. There's a third option.
Y'all ready for this?
Oh my god, type slower.
I'm trying not to jiggle the computer. I don't want to phrase it that way. I don't want to phrase it that way. I don't want to phrase it.
This is why I don't like to do the poll. Oh my gosh. How many options do you need?
I need 4. I just added complexity when typing it out. It wasn't as complex that I had in my head. But now this is it.
You didn't have
like
to
that?
delete the no category.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Final poll after 5 minutes of typing. Apologies, everybody.
This one is interesting.
Yeah, this one's a little more nuanced. I like. Whoa, whoa. I like watching the live results. Okay. Wow, bold. I was not expecting this.
Interesting. More people think just in the flesh over Ghost. So, I mean, in the flesh implies it's actually Anakin. He's not Ghost form. So, obviously, that's a flashback of some kind, Force vision of some kind, a world between worlds. We see him actually in non-Ghost form. And it's interesting that people think that's more likely than just the Ghost appearance. I guess maybe the people who think he's going to show up as the Ghost think he's also in the flesh, so they're going the both option. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, both was winning for a hot second. It's gonna be both. Oh, Maria!
Maria's on board with both.
Bold. I respect it.
Yeah, they dropped his name twice in the trailer. One for Ghost, one for
One for
Flesh.
each appearance.
It has to be both.
Foreshadowing.
Has to be both.
Lord Val, that's amazing. I read the first Dune book and I thought it was awesome. Dude, I'm freaking tempted to reread it before the sequel comes out, which I still haven't actually watched the trailer. Because I was going to film a reaction, but I kind of want to just watch it. But yes, the Dune book is amazing. It's harder because it's like Warner Brothers, and they're not as... Their content gets...
Whatever, so just react on the copyright.
Yeah, maybe. But yes, that's amazing. So hopefully, like, I don't know if you saw the first part, but yeah, the book, I mean, that's the benefit of reading the book. You know how it ends. Or at least the first iteration. I think I actually love the second book, Dune Messiah, even more, I've got to say. And I read Children of Dune, and now I want to read God Emperor of Dune. I've had that one now, and I haven't started it, but I told myself it's going to be my summer read. So that's awesome. I'm glad to hear you liked it. In the Flesh, still winning. Still winning. I think there will be some flashbacks that tell a different POV for something we've already seen. And then I think he shows up as a Force Ghost with Luke Skywalker. Frick.
Yeah.
That would be, dang, Maria, I'm going to hold you to that.
Maria,
Because
I'm
if
right
that
with you.
comes to fruition, I want to freaking see that.
I'm right with you. I mean,
I
the
might
moment
cry.
that they've been teasing is
So much like a
Ahsoka finding
father.
out what happened to Anakin,
Mm-hmm.
what the end of his story was. And Luke was in the room when it happened. Luke was there. Luke was there with Anakin when he died. We are, it's like the safest bet of all time that we're going to get that revelation of Luke telling Ahsoka what's happens in the show. I mean, we have to.
Maybe.
Exactly. Book of Boba Fett, such a tease. We
Bully
know
McGuire
Anakin's gonna
says
show up. It's like, what? She
wants
doesn't
them
want
to
to confront her
interact with
past.
anything. Well, we can end off on that note. I guess we're gonna find out soon, guys. It's coming up. I can't believe it's almost here, but we're definitely gonna be we might have to reschedule DORK Discourse to be on a day after, because like you said, we always typically film it pre-gaming the episode and we share predictions, but then we never talk about the episodes again until the following week. So maybe we'll up the ante to 2 DORK Discourse streams, because it's definitely more fun talking about it. You know, this was fun. This was a first for us, getting a live reaction, and then I think you're right. I think this was the quickest we've ever actually streamed following a major drop or trailer release or something like that. So thank you guys so much for the turnout tonight.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it, and was not expecting it, because usually when I dip off the channel for a hot minute, it takes a bit to regain your guys' trust and get people tuning in. But obviously everyone's really excited. I'm so happy that the reception to this trailer is overwhelmingly positive for the most part, what I've seen, and everybody's super, super stoked, and the excitement has just gone, because honestly, I low-key kept forgetting the show was happening, because I think that's definitely a con of the lack of marketing approach that they take. I mean, I've been vocal about this. I think their marketing and advertising could be way better. Like, we get a teaser and then we don't hear anything, and then I low-key forget that the shows are happening, because I have to just put them to the back burner of my brain. Otherwise, I'm thinking about it and waiting for it, and I'm going to be impatient. So I literally just have to force myself to forget until it finally happens. So my excitement has definitely been revamped. It's not that I wasn't excited, but it's just like, come on, where's the trailer? Like, what is happening? And now, of course, this 2-episode premiere, that is a special treat. That's so sick. So my excitement has been reinvigorated. I'm glad to see you guys are really excited too. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really miss you guys a lot. So thank you, like, so much, especially for hanging out and the turnout. I was not expecting, but glad to hear that everyone is, it seems like, equally excited.
Yeah. I mean, really, not throughout this entire stream, not any type of negative thing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, literally not a single, I mean, aside from trying to relate it to the sequels, there wasn't any type of negative comment or anything that I saw this entire 2 hours in regards to what is in the trailer and what the show's set us up for. So I think that is something that we haven't seen in after any trailer that we've gotten for anything.
Yeah.
Even Kenobi didn't count, because as soon as they showed the Grand Inquisitor, it was 2.5, 3 months of, why does the Grand Inquisitor look like
There's
Humpty
a lot
Dumpty?
more to
Why does he?
nitpick.
Yeah, so
Humpty Dumpty.
it's like this is, I think, the first time in a very long time that we've gotten a trailer for something and there hasn't been
Much
any type of negativity surrounding it. So
thank you to our members who've been controlling the lamp throughout the stream. We appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for our members only stream. Last plug, I swear, because I don't usually like to plug it, because I value all of you. You're all appreciated. But if you want to join in last minute, we're going to be doing that this weekend. So just have to try to be a real YouTuber and actually plug my member only perks. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We love you guys. It's been great catching up, seeing you guys again. Really, actually, truly missed you guys so much. What time Sunday? I don't know, but we're gonna be going for like 6 hours. I'm trying to have a marathon. We're trying to go.
6?
Yes, we're trying to go for a long time.
There you go.
Now that I've said it publicly, I have to hold myself accountable. So I'll see some of you there for sure. Thank you all though so much for tuning in. We love you guys. We really missed you guys. We need like a Dork Discourse slogan or something. Dork Discourse out. I don't know. That was so bad.
Chest bump.
No. Dork Discourse out. And we'll see you guys again.
Dork Discourse out.
Very, very soon. We
Dork
love you
Discourse.
guys. Bye, friends.
Dork Discourse is out. We're out. Dork Discourse is out. So out. We're out.
Adios,
Out.
friends.
So out. We're out of here. We're out. Dork Discourse out. So out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
Dork
actually
Discourse is out.
we're
Outta
actually
here.
gonna go
We're
now.
out.
Oh my goodness.
Out. Dork Discourse is out.
Gosh. Okay.
We are out.
Love you guys.